Hey guys, Jojo here from Big Shark Gaming, and today I'm with...
Jay from Big Shark Gaming, but also a very special guest.
Today we have a very special guest with us. So, why don't you introduce yourself? Hello. My name is Barack Obama. I am the President of the United States. And today I'm joining Joe and Jay here at Big Shark Gaming for, what is this, Pokemon?
Yes, this is Pokemon.
Alright, so, Joe's gonna help me walk through this, because I don't know what I'm doing. Well, alright, so what we have here is we have Pokemon. It's a little bit of like a game. I've heard of Pokemon before. I referenced it once or twice. I just don't know how to play. So Joe's gonna be the one controlling all the movements, and I'm gonna be the one talking.
Okay.
So first of all, I just want to thank Big Shark for having me here.
Thank you for coming.
It's a true honor to have you, Mr. President. You could just call me Barack. It doesn't have to be that formal. I mean, we're playing football. So, well, I understand you guys want to ask a few questions.
Yes, we do. Mr. President, what do you feel about video games as like overall?
Having two young daughters, you're gonna find out that video games don't really become something that's in the household too much. It could be. I think that video games are absolutely unisex, as that's how it should be. As you see, you may or may not know, lately, unisex has become a thing. Right. And I would like to announce that now we just passed a bill that allows for everyone to get married.
Yes.
Same-sex marriages.
I personally was very happy with that. I know a lot of people who are pushing for that kind of legalization across the entire nation.
It's one of the most important things. Because not only does it say that everyone on this planet is equal, everyone on this planet deserves equal rights.
Right. As
you just saw, we have a lot of racial things going on. And there's a lot of problems that we still need to fix. And we're working on them. One of my original slogans was that we can fix it. And I still humbly believe that. We could humbly fix all these problems in America. My presidency is not done yet. And we're still working. We're still working every day to make this nation the most beautiful nation in the world. Because it truly is.
Yes.
So, as for video games, what do I think about video games? I think that they serve their purpose. They unify people, as we all should do, as we always do. That's one of the most touching things in this nation. Everyone always comes together. At the end of the day, everyone always comes together. In time of crisis, people come together. And that's something that I truly hold, without a doubt, as to be one of the most important things of being a president.
Okay.
So let me ask you, there's a lot of problems going on in this world. Do you think that any of the problems in our real life world would affect the world of Pokemon? See, I'm not really familiar with the world of Pokemon. I don't know what would affect the world of Pokemon. What would it? But it seems that everyone in the world of Pokemon is truly united. Because if you look at these creatures, I don't know how many there are, but there are a lot, and there doesn't seem to be any hate. There doesn't seem to be any inequality.
Yeah.
People come in and they leave, and they say Pokemon's the best thing ever. But I don't know if I believe that. I'm, again, not a fan of Pokemon.
Okay.
But
shifting away from Pokemon, what's your opinion on violence in video games?
It's a big deal. There have been too many incidences in the past years where there'll be a lot of crimes, a lot of shootings, and a lot of people who like to imitate video games. The Grand Theft Autos, the Call of Duties. There's a lot of things that can be avoided. A lot of violence in video games can really lead to issues in the real world. Sorry, Mr. President, just wait for this sirens to go by. That's perfectly understandable. So, as you were saying, Mr. President, but I don't believe that video games are solely the problem. People emulate video games. Video games don't emulate people.
Right.
Video games don't manipulate people. Unfortunately, people get too submersed in the video game world. And they start interacting with video games as if they were part of the real world. And that's where that line gets crossed. And that's where that line can no longer be divulged. Because people want to bring guns to school and shoot up schools. And that's not okay. That'll never be okay.
Right.
And when you ask, well, where did they see it?
In a video game.
They saw it in a video game.
If you think that people are imitating video games, do you feel that educational video games or video games that give good influences can also potentially be imitated for the better of society?
See, there's people in this world. There's the doers, there's the don'ters. There's the people who want to just sit back and do neither. And that's okay too. It's unfortunate that they don't want to do anything because those are people who could be achieving. However, there are people in this world who sit back and create these video games that are intended for youth, that are memory games built to build memory skills, spelling games built to enhance spelling. There's other means necessary too.
Educational games.
Because this is one of the things that I pushed for a long time, where educational games are in abundance too. Unfortunately, they're not in as much abundance as these games that seem violent, that or they just don't get the limelight that other video games do get, which is a shame because I feel like these video games could really do a great job in getting more people up to speed and more help growth the youth. From a personal experience, that there's people in this world who would rather sit there and play video games than raise their kid when they could be sitting back playing these games with these kids. That's absolutely right.
Or perhaps using the video games as a babysitter, keep their kids quiet.
See, now that's a tricky situation because when you leave, unless you have a nanny cam, of course, you never know what these babysitters are doing. You never know. And that's the scary part of this world. You just never know.
Right.
And when it comes to something like that, you could sit there and you could wish and you could hope that the babysitter's doing the right thing. And most of the time they are. But there's some times where they're just not. So you can't say, well, listen, I want you to play these games with my 2-year-old, my 3-year-old, my 2-month-old. And I don't believe that a 2-month-old should ever be using any sort of technology.
I agree.
But that's today's day. It happens. And sometimes it just gets out of hand. I firmly believe that sometimes that technology is being used the wrong way. It's using right in many ways. But it's also being used wrong in many ways. And there's no denial in my brain that video games can be used in a very beneficial way to enhance the population of today.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they can absolutely be used in the wrong way. And they have been. And they are. I'm not saying that every crime committed is to blame on video games. Even if they are blamed, I don't think that it's personally the blame of the video game. However, there's going to be people who will say, video games caused this. Video game caused violence. But you have to look at it as a whole. And now, people will always say, well, the bad rule. The bad will overdo the good.
Right.
But I'm the type of president that will say, there's a lot more good than bad. And you got to focus on that too. It's only fair. So, one thing that we want to ask is, what is your favorite video game? I like Donkey Kong. I like Donkey Kong Country a lot. It's one of those games that I grew up playing, and it's one of those games that I still put in every now and then. I like to play the NBA games, NBA 2K. I'm not very good at them, but I lose almost every time.
But you like to play.
That's because I don't really have a lot of time to play. We could imagine you have a lot on your plate, and that's why this interview is actually almost coming to a close. But yeah, I do like video games. I do own a Nintendo 3DS. I barely get to play it, and it's probably dead right now. But what's in there? Well, I don't even remember. Michelle was playing it last. So it's really interesting how you guys have managed to grow this industry. So let's talk about a little bit of business aspects, because this is the type of thing that I've been telling people about for a while. Young entrepreneurship and young America. America is something that has been getting younger and younger. And it's something that has become more and more for the young people.
Right.
Here we have a 24 and a 19-year-old, as you guys said before we started recording. And you guys are trying to strive your best, trying to do your best to sit there and just do something with your life and make it the best that you can do.
Right.
And that's something that should always be respected. And it will. And I wish you guys the very best, because you don't see dedication in this world very often.
Thank you, Mr. President.
We really appreciate that. We've been working so hard to make this the best it could be, and we have made quite a few fans, and we have made quite a few friends.
Yes.
And we hope to continue that. And we hope to keep it going, and we hope to just, one day establish something that would be along the lines of presidency, of
Right.
like the gaming news community. We always want to strive to be the best, and that's the one thing that like we take to heart, and that's the one thing that like we really want to focus on, just being the best. And we're young, and we don't have too much to invest into this, but at the same time, like,
Yeah.
why do we have to let that hold us back? That's exactly it. And it's true what they say, you have to spend money to make money.
Right.
But at the same time, money doesn't grow on trees, so where are you going to get money to start? So, I just want to thank you guys again for having me on. It was a blast.
Thank
I
you.
want to thank you, Mr. President. So I'll see you guys next time. I'm President Obama from Big Shark Gaming. And I'm Joe, the President of the United States.
And I am Jay from Beep Boop Bop Boop.
See you guys next time. Goodbye.